Hello everybody and welcome back to Yasmin Collects. I hope you had an absolutely lovely holiday season and an even happier new year. I'm very distracted by my washing machine or dishwasher machine doing dishes right next to me, so I may have to record this 100 times over, and hopefully the sound of it is not coming through on the microphone. But today we are talking about a little device that I have gotten questions about several times. You often see it featured in my background and sometimes in my Instagram photos as well, and that is this little boombox here. This is the Toshiba, I did not memorize the model number, model TY-CKM39. This is a CD radio and cassette recorder boombox, and today we're going to be doing a little chat, and I guess you could somewhat call this a review. I hesitate to call the videos that I do reviews because I'm a bit too scatterbrained for that type of structure. Now, I know that there does tend to be a general animosity towards all-in-one machines. I'm thinking of, the Crosley record player. All-in-ones do tend to be a little bit frowned upon, and I do think that I would consider this boombox to be an all-in-one. It has a CD player, a cassette player, a radio, and also a port for a headphone jack or an aux cord. It does not have Bluetooth capabilities. I actually can't exactly figure out when this was manufactured because surprisingly, the information online is somewhat limited, and this is going to come back to bite us later in the video, but there is no owner's manual for this item readily available or archived online. But as far as my research can tell, this was originally released in 2016. I got this before I really started actually getting into retro tech. That beginning phase, and maybe some of my viewers don't know this, but I imagine that I have some people who've been using this technology since it came out, but then also some viewers that may just be getting into this type of hobby. Now, that's kind of what happened to me. It was a slow and steady burn, if you care. I did a Q&A about it already. But anyways, I purchased this when I was kind of first starting out and, getting excited about certain mediums again. So the only thing I owned at the time was my parents' old Magnavox VCR DVD combo machine. So in my mind, that was perfectly, peak technology. And I was like, all right, well, let me just grab one of these, get a good one that was well reviewed on Amazon, and then this is all I'll need. Of course, that never ends up happening and it just turns into a rabbit hole. But I paid about $61 for this 2 years ago. My time recount is really, really poor. But let's just say 1.5 years ago, I purchased this. And you know what? I've grown pretty fond of it over the years. I do also have to say that I don't necessarily share the same animosity for all-in-one players because there is something I think all-in-ones have going for them, and that is just accessibility. My most favorite part of this unit for sure, though, is the bright green casing. I've kind of been going down another rabbit hole on Facebook Marketplace listings, kind of looking at these older boom boxes that you really saw a lot of in the early 2000s. I also used to have a Barbie boom box, but it was mostly a cassette player, but it was this really, really cute player, and I've seen quite a few that I've been interested in. You can buy them for cheap. I think my favorite one that I saw was a Monster High boom box. I almost bought it, but then I was like, okay, we don't need that. This boombox also features two different ways to power it up. It's either a 300 volt two-pronged power cord or 6D batteries. I've used it both ways, and I'll give you guys some more information on the battery life. I will say, even though the current batteries I have in here are dead, I do enjoy having them in there because they give this lightweight unit a little bit more weight, and it's much easier to maneuver around the house because when it doesn't have the batteries in it, it's actually kind of light and flimsy and just sort of feels a bit unstable. And so if I really wanted to be old school and walk around blasting Madonna in the street, if I put some new D batteries in this thing, I totally could do that. I will also say though, I prefer to use the batteries even though they don't last very long because the power cord does have a tendency to fall out if you don't really, really push it in. And I also have rabbits that eat cords, so in general, if I can make something like this cordless, I will. I did put 6 Magnavox D batteries in here. It lasted me I would say maybe 4 or 5 hours total. I used it intermittently just for, like 30 minutes at a time over a couple weeks, and eventually it did end up dying. I am usually a Duracell girl through and through. I bought them on discount, the D batteries, because they do tend to be more expensive. So I would like to try this again with Duracell batteries and give you guys a real review of the life, but I will say, it's a machine that has a lot of different functions, so just expect it to suck up a little bit more power if you are going to go the battery-powered route. Despite this unit being in the budget range, it is still a name brand. I did mention this in my Sony DVD player video that I do tend to avoid mass market no-name brands that you can find on Amazon. I think they're usually a similar price point to a lower-end version of a name brand anyways, and maybe that's just me making assumptions, but generally I try to avoid any of those Amazon brands because they tend to kind of just be containing the absolute cheapest parts possible, and the support is not always as vast and available, even though this one doesn't even have a user manual online, so who knows? I could be wrong. I am also going to be doing a full demo, mostly focusing on the sound capabilities of this thing. I had 2 rather comical issues with this boombox when I first got it. I couldn't get the CD player or the cassette deck to play at first, and if you look at this unit, it is pretty basic when we're looking at the CD and cassette functions respectively. They are both analog, so you can literally just pull the CD case open whether or not the unit is powered on, and you can also press a button to open the cassette deck whether or not the unit is powered on. At this point, I had only been using this boombox to play vaporwave out of it through an aux cord, and I was just kind of carrying it around or putting it on when I was getting ready and doing my makeup or whatever, and I just couldn't figure it out. The one thing I thought though was, you know what, it's been a while since I dusted this thing out or looked to see if there were rabbit hairs in it or anything like that, and lo and behold, in both situations, the reason why it wasn't playing, first of all, with the CD player, part of its component is that the laser is directly exposed. I had his hair sitting over the laser, so all I had to do was wipe it gently and remove the hair, and the CD started playing. And then with the cassette deck mechanism, I wish I would have filmed this, but it was such a long time ago. There was a piece of residual glue, I'm assuming from the original manufacture date, that was stuck in between one of the prongs and almost kind of like poking out. And I'm assuming that the player was preventing a cassette from being played in order to protect the unit and also the tape inside the cassette. So all I had to do was take a little tweezer, pull out some of that excess dried glue, and yes, I'm positive it was glue and not grease this time, because as you guys know on this channel, I have a tendency to mix these things up. I promise you it was glue. I pulled it out, and lo and behold, the cassette portion started working on this thing as well. So sometimes it really is that simple, especially with these types of devices. So I thought that was rather comical, because I initially thought that, oh my gosh, nor the CD or cassette deck portion of this thing works. I'm going to have to give it a scathing review on Yelp, but that was not the case. As I've mentioned several times before, and I'm sure this is going to be a comical evolution on this YouTube channel, I am not a huge fan of cassette tapes, and the more I think about it, this is my only way to play cassettes currently, so I think this player does amplify my disinterest. I'm going to show you a demo of a recorded cassette tape on this unit, and then also through the lens of my custom speaker that you can see in the background here. I do not think that cassettes sound very good on this thing at all. It can be a little bit tinny just in general, this player, but with the cassette deck in there, I feel like the tinniness is on a next level. It literally reminds me of being like in a garage chatting with friends while a tape plays in the background. There's a lot of kind of hissing and white noise and just like general clatter going on, so I'm really not a fan of that, but I still think that this unit is cute and worth listening to. And I think my favorite thing about just having a boombox in general is that it does replace having something like an Alexa. I do have one behind me. In fact, she's probably lit up because I said her name. But the speaker capabilities in here are really, really suited for MP3, a medium with a lot of lossiness in general. So it's kind of perfect for listening to vaporwave playlists on YouTube, which is the main way that I use this, like I mentioned earlier. And if you're into that specific type of genre, mall soft, mall music, I feel like this one does a really, really good job of capturing that kind of open, hollow sound. I really don't think necessarily that this player is for someone that's really heavily into listening to CDs, for example, and you like bass boosted music, or even just like popular pop songs don't always sound the most amazing on this thing. But if you do listen to that kind of genre of like vaporwave, airy types of stuff, I really think it sounds especially unique in this thing, and I find it really cute. Of course, also, this boombox is portable. I am going to be adding a bunch of comments in the demo, so I do not want to take up extra time in basically this introduction of the video, but I don't necessarily know if I would want to take this thing outside, but I do carry it all around my house. I'll bring it with me when I'm doing dishes, in my bedroom, in my bathroom. It's a nice alternative to having headphones, which I do also use my headphones a lot. I still have my 10-year-old Beats that I repaired in another video. I still use those all the time and go running with them, but it is kind of nice to just have an old school boombox to carry around from, like, you know, a regressive lifestyle standpoint. I do get questions about purchasing this one a lot, so I will specifically call out in this video that I'm leaving a link in the description below for you guys to purchase it. I think the green one is sold out, but they still have a black one available. I'm assuming what happened with this thing on Amazon is that it's not necessarily that Toshiba is selling it new like you would see on Best Buy or something like that. It's probably dead stock or overstock that someone is reselling on Amazon, because the prices can kind of like fluctuate and go up and down. But this is actually something you can still purchase, which we don't typically cover on this channel, and I'll leave a link. It's not an affiliate link. I don't make commission off of it. That's just not really how your girl works. Disclosures. I think that's all I wanted to say in this video. I've kind of been putting off this video, I will say, because I knew it was going to be a lot of side footage of me actually testing the unit, because there's not really much to say about it physically. There's nothing really incredibly unique about it. It's a boombox. It's something that you can purchase now. I got it when I wasn't really thinking about it, so this is like a super, you know, everyday consumer type of product if you're in the market for a boombox, or you just kind of like playing around with little things like this. It's pretty good. I might purchase some more boom boxes if I feel extra unhinged one day, and maybe I can do a comparison video, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody actually needs that, but yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say in this introduction. Let's get into some audio demos so you can really see what this little guy is capable of. I'm going straight to giving what the people want, and that is checking out the tape recorder portion of this boombox and also the CD recordable functions, because we all know that's the coolest part about this unit. So I reached for my brand new, still wrapped up in the casing Prism tape that I can record on. I also grabbed the trusty Toshiba, a giant pile of rewritable discs, and I selected 2 of my many types. We have an Memorex CDRW, and we also have a Toshiba CDR. I decided to do 2 different formats because we know that recording on CDs is super easy and there's never any issues whatsoever. I use my Asus external disk drive to insert, and I use the free open source burn software to burn some no copyright music and also some music that I actually wrote myself. Alrighty, I am hoping that the TDK CD that I burned, this is a CDR, hoping that this one works. If not, we'll also try a CDRW. Burned CDs tend to be a little bit finicky, and I don't really use them too much in my daily life. See if I can get this powered on, and let's make sure this CD will work. That way I can give you guys the full effect by using material that I know is not copywritten. I don't want to get a copyright claim. And also I put some of my own music on here just because I like to mess around, and I thought it'd be funny to see it on a cassette tape. And we have light, or life. It's already set to CD. You guys can't really see that, but it says no CD. Let's see if I can zoom it in. It's looking super bright, but there it is. And here's another look at the CD component. It is so incredibly basic. You can actually see the laser that's going to be reading the disc right there, which is kind of annoying when it comes to keeping this clean, because literally just a piece of hair can cause this machine to malfunction, torturing me right now as I try to film. They always can tell when I'm filming and they're like, hello, I want to be annoying. But I check this thing very, very frequently because hair and dust and debris gets in here so easily because it's literally completely exposed. And you know what else? You can also actually see, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but look right down there. There's the ribbon cable that's holding all of this together, which is kind of wicked when you think about it. So I know some people like to carry around boom boxes outside when they're gardening or just having them outside. I think that would probably be fine using the AUX or the radio, but I would be a little bit concerned having a CD player like this where it's that open and exposed to the air. Close it, and it looks like it's identified that there are 6 total tracks burned on here, so let's press the play button and scare the crap out of my rabbits. They're gonna scatter in a second. Let me make sure it isn't too loud. I don't want to scare them. Okay, 13, that's fine. This is on max volume. go for longer than most of my videos because these are all things that I don't have to worry about copyright for. Now, I do want to point out a couple obvious things that I'm sure I'm going to get comments about. So first of all, yes, I am doing my best to show you guys the audio quality both on the native speakers and also a monitor that I use. But ever since I watched that V Westlife video about how most speaker reviews are rather inaccurate, I do acknowledge that we are at the mercy of my camera, which I still haven't gotten the microphone fixed. You guys will have to forgive me because this is not my full-time job, and you know, try to be as thorough as we can. Maybe down the line I will get more professional, but I just want to acknowledge I understand that, you know, we can't really know for sure. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we are going to do some recording on this blank Prism tape. I picked these up at a thrift store a couple days ago when I was on holiday. And in terms of the sound quality from this tape, we are at the mercy of if these blank tapes are worth their salt, if they're good. I did get this one sealed, so that is kind of nice, although I have heard that Prism is not the best quality. I'm gonna show you guys how recording works on this thing. It's actually really cool that you can record here at all, so let's do that. Hi, this portion of the video is sponsored by Your Device's User Manual. Don't be stupid like me and throw away the user manual to your boombox, because then you're not going to know exactly how to do the recording demo, and you're probably going to waste some tape in the process. User manuals, they're not just valuable for YouTubers. Oh my god. No. Oh my god. Whoo. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. I am the dumbest of the dum-dums. This is what happens when you get distracted, because filming is distracting to me when it comes to focusing on topics and remembering everything. So all right, something else to note for anybody that doesn't know much about cassettes like myself. This seems like it would be self-explanatory, but I personally found this a little bit confusing. If you want to listen to side one, which I do because it has my favorite song from this album, Dream Lover, on it, you want to put it in this way, not this way. I thought it would be this way because it's like, oh, this is what I want to listen to, so let me put it in this way. Maybe that just makes sense to my brain, but it's not. It's this way. So you want to be able to see the thing that you're trying to play. This is going to be fun without the manual. Let's just try to do this recording together. So I don't know why I just closed this, because the first thing I need to do is take this Prism tape and have it rewound the other way so we can record. I also think my CD is already in there, so that's half the battle, right? Is having both of them in there at the same time. Okay, tape is in. I'm assuming that we would want to switch to CD. I just missed it. Okay, that's just my guess. And then you would play the CD and then hit record. Recording is done, so I'm assuming we'll hit stop. And then let's open this up and see. I see some tape, so it looks like we did do a little bit of recording. So now to get it to play, fast forward it this way. This is literally like a math problem to me. I'm like, okay, if it looks like this, then it has to go like this. Let's see if we can hear my recording. Okay, nothing. Okay, so I have my Rags Kids Club Band CD. This is not really what I want on a blank tape, but it is in fact a CD that I know won't get me copyrighted. And I'm just kind of thinking maybe the CDR is problematic for the tape for some reason. So let's close this. Let's see if we can go to CD. We already are on CD. Let's do play. Well, actually, program, what does that mean? P mode. Uh-oh. I don't know what that is. Tape, line, CD. Okay, let's play the CD. If it takes it, there it is. Play.
Put your hands together, everybody! Let's go, kids! Clap your hands! Louder, louder, louder! Okay, okay! Let's go sing along, everybody!
R-A-G-G-S, R-A-G-G-S. He's top dog, he's the best. R-A-G-G-S, R-A-G-G-S, R-A-G-G-S. He's top dog, he's the best. R-A-G-G-S.
He's too blue.
I should not know all of this.
Rags is a kid's best friend. Move over, when Rags takes over, the fun will never end.
All right. Let's go back to our tape. Rewind.
Come on, everybody!
There it is.
R-A-G-G-S, R-A-G-G-S.
Okay, interesting.
R-A-G-G-S, R-A-G-G-S, R-A-G-G-S. He's top dog,
Okay.
he's the best.
Well. Okay, well, we know it works, so it must not like something about the CDR. So you know what that means, my friends. It's time to experiment with another one. I was using TDK CDR before. This time I'm going to do a Memorex CDRW and see if the player likes that a little bit more. Now, something I want to acknowledge about burning CDs, which I didn't mention earlier, is your burn speed. For this Memorex, I only have one option, which is 10x maximum, but on that TDK CD, I had up to 25 and all the way down to I think 4 or 8. I did it at 25, which may have been a mistake. Unfortunately, when it comes to CDs, especially burning them, it is like really hit or miss if it's actually going to be effective. I have the same issue when I record from DVD to VHS. It's any digital to analog when it comes to like the digital recordable medium is sometimes problematic. So I'm going to try to burn this at 10x and hopefully my boombox likes it. Oh, there we go. I think I just didn't push it hard enough. I am going to have so much footage to go through. Now we're going to AM.
Say once again, the scripture cannot be broken. Our Lord Jesus said that, didn't he? You can't take this and then leave behind this. He said, if you don't accept the words of Moses, you certainly won't accept my words.
Alrighty, that's enough of that. Let's hear what it sounds like on the AUX. For our final round of demonstration, I'm going to be showcasing the sound quality on something that is going to produce a higher quality sound naturally, and that is this Kustom speaker. I get questions about this sometimes. This is a bit unorthodox, but this is actually intended for instruments. So like I used it for my piano when I played in high school, and I still use it sometimes if I do play on the off chance. And let me show you guys the back of it. It's a PA system that offers 3 different inputs. You have lines here for either a microphone or some sort of audio material, but then it also has an aux cord section here, which is what I use it for. I actually plug this into my VCR and use a aux to AV adapter so I can get high quality sound and hi-fi from the speaker. It works really well this way. I've never really cared about sound bars, and I don't really know about compatibility and all that jazz, but this is still available. It's like $120, and I think it's really worth it. There's a lot of adjustments that you can do. It's pretty manual, but I enjoy it overall. So I just wanted to make sure everyone has this background before we do the sound demo. I can adjust things, but for all intents and purposes, to keep this as accurate as possible, I'm just going to keep the treble and the bass on the same level, and we will showcase the CD and the cassette. Oh, and also the aux as well with one of the other songs. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel, Yasmin Collects. We do all sorts of fun things on this channel. I love the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. I love toys, technology. I'm just a bit of a pack rat, I guess you would say, an organized pack rat, and I like talking about stuff that isn't really relevant anymore. So if all that sounds interesting to you, subscribe to the channel. Thank you to my current subscribers for supporting and commenting on all of my videos. It really, really means the world to me. I love reading your comments and seeing you pop up in my notifications. So thank you, thank you. I love you all, and I will see you in another video. Bye.